2, 5. 3, sir. 3.
3. Thank you, Shane.
You're welcome. I'm pretty sure the guidance map is the same thing.
Do we start it?
Guidance map is easier.
It's been started the last 10 seconds.
Oh,
That
okay.
means it got the Monty Python reference.
Yes. So yeah, this is the what is this the third session?
That
Yes.
sounds about right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To our, of course, many listeners, the thousands of people that watch this, this is going to be a shorter session because life is a bitch. I was not really in position to prep all that much, so shorter session. The character introduction to Nito will not be joining us tonight, and we got Moose. We got Moose. We got.
Please don't ever do that.
I identify as a cariboomer.
You're not a caribou. You're a moose.
So stuck in the Tetris dimension.
Yeah. So we got Anana. We got Liv, who's Anana, and we got
I believe that the behavior is called bugling.
Bugling.
Google.
Indeed. We have Veda, played by Shade.
Hello.
And we have Rin, played by Connor, who is still in his ring.
Well, it's just lovely weather here in the Casa de Rin.
Oh, that was some
Nothing
I'm
bad
sorry.
ever happens in Rin Sing Se.
I'll apologize. I'll put it in comment. There we go.
Should we go and wake up Lord Faust and let him know?
Most likely.
Izzy, are you prepared?
She looks over at Huron. Are you sure you don't want to wait till everyone's here? I mean, I guess I'm ready, but
Who else are you waiting for?
Huron's consciousness.
yeah, I mean, okay.
Oh, we can always tell him what happened later.
Damn. Exclude him, why don't you?
Okay then.
I don't have any spells left that can heal him at all, unfortunately. So he's kind of stuck there until he just naturally wakes up.
Vena.
Yeah.
That ring you've got on?
Mm-hmm.
Starting to flash.
Oh, look. We might be about to have company. Why don't you stand back, dear? I think most of us want to have a bit of a word with him first.
And a front flap on the signet ring jumps open and just billowing mountains of deep purple smoke with red flashes just pours out into about a 5-foot cube until very dramatic style, just a wind from nowhere blows it into nothingness. And there's Rin standing in night gear.
Explain yourself.
Vena's not going to give him a chance.
Oh,
Vena
no.
steps forward and grabs you by the collar of your night gear and picks you up.
Rin looks very, at first, for a moment, was very shocked that he is not in a bedroom where Vena was, and is in fact in a ritual chamber, and then is immediately grabbed and just,
You. Do you know what you've done?
not really.
You killed that innocent woman.
Your pettiness. Your petty desire for revenge got someone killed. For what? Because she made you upset?
Now, hang on.
Unfortunately, she's not exaggerating. It is your fault.
Now, I've just woken up. You'll have to break it down a little bit slower for me.
You sent Agatha out into town, away
Correct.
from our protection.
Correct.
This place was cursed that no one could leave. So she was killed the moment she tried to leave.
Which she had
Surely-
to do under
surely-
your compulsion.
Surely isn't that the fault of the person who put the curse such that they could not leave,
It's
not the person who
both.
was none the...
You get bonked on the top of your head by a heavy half-orc fist. That's not the point here.
Even if she had left, she wasn't really supposed to be killed. I had told him that any family member was allowed to leave, but he was. She just sort of gestures at the circle. He said since she was compulsed magically, by our contract, he had the right to. Since she would be able to tell people if you know. That's why
So,
my dad was able to leave.
you're the reason this is happening. You were... He's looking at Izzy. It's like, so you're the reason this is... Gestures to the sacrifice room.
I didn't mean for it to be this. I didn't go out trying to sacrifice people. I just wanted my dad just kept me here for so long. I just wanted a friend at first, and
Rin stops for a second, strokes an invisible beard.
You're still hanging up in the air.
He's quite heavy. You may...
I'll do the
Like-
strength check.
Yeah, he is. I've written it down somewhere. But he's heavy as fuck. I think it's in chat.
Strength check.
Yeah.
15.
He's like 230, 250 pounds.
I have enough carry weight. I'm not wearing my armor.
Alright. Rin's just gonna kind
There
of
we go.
let you at the moment. After he does, he thinks for a second, goes, don't feel too bad about it then. There is blame that I apparently also share here, but did you know when you set out to do this?
Oh my god.
What the actual fuck?
Why did that
Did we get the
same-
message?
I
Like,
s-
Jesus.
I said that once. What the actual hell?
Game said we're gonna make him toxic spam
So
against his
he's
will.
Bill-
not a tiefling.
Bill,
I am.
I
Oh,
know.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, or
He's
tiefling
fucking
adjacent.
nasty.
Bill, help me. What the fuck had just happened?
Uh,
I clicked that once.
Kyle getting
why is-
electrocuted.
What if it came from the observer? What the fuck?
Why?
Why does one come from the observer?
In the middle.
What the fuck?
The observer wanted to chime in.
All right,
God dang.
leave
He's
the
tired of just observing.
leave the observer one in there. I guess.
Anyway.
I'll be over here trying not to die. I guess. Fuck.
He basically, the gist of what he was saying is that she should not feel entirely at fault for her actions. It wasn't entirely selfish. It makes sense what she was doing. But that there is still some blame to go around, him included.
He'll look up at Rin. Her face is now, instead of red with being teased by an incubus, she's upset.
Faina, would you mind setting me down so we can discuss this?
And she'll let you down.
Now, I didn't say anything because you're clearly very upset. Would you like a minute to calm down so we can talk plain-headedly?
She just closes her eyes and
Truly, I think all that's going to do is give her time to make a better argument.
I'd welcome that as well, but I'm here to listen and talk. But I don't. What I want to avoid is a shouting match where we just point fingers.
Then don't shout.
How
Aldred,
very
help
insightful.
me pick up Huron, please. Imagine Aldred would do that.
Oh yeah,
You can make decisions for her.
Aldred will go over, and since he's the healthiest, he'll just like, yep, okay. Well, besides Ren.
Of how I'm gashed and bloodied and fucking sleepwear, and Aldred's just chilling
actually,
there, and
I
I'm
don't
like,
know. I don't know if Aldred's strong.
oh, how much strength does he have?
I'm just gonna lay on the table.
God damn.
Huron's pushing like 300 plus pounds, easy.
Alright, that's main character right there.
Look at that. Look at it.
Rin tries to cut the tension while seeing a struggle. And, well, I could always just try and Eldritch Blast him periodically across the floor.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm gonna let that one go. Clearly, things
I
are a
think
bit
you've
more
done
tense.
about enough.
Vayne will say nothing.
You are entitled to feel angry and upset. And if there was some way for me to make amends for this, I would.
Oh, we'll find one.
We can discuss more in the morning. For now, I think it'd be best to tend to our wounded.
Let's just carry him upstairs.
Do I have a potion?
I don't know, but I
do
don't.
not.
I don't know where you would have gotten that potion.
I think Vixer's
I didn't know if I
muted.
started with one or anything.
Oh.
Also, not gonna lie, this whole time where that unconscious thing was over Huron's face, I really just thought he was like mummy wrapped his head.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm curious if mine would
I had
give it
Vex muted
horns.
and it carried over.
I shall carry her on up the steps. Try to, at least.
I think it'd be within your best health interest that Huron does not wake up right now.
One more time.
It would be within
Get closer to the mic.
your best interest if I do not wake up right now.
There.
Oh, yeah. At least get you upstairs out of the sacrificial chamber.
Yeah, I went down charmed.
It would be funny if he wakes up here. He thinks.
I went down charmed. I'm coming swinging.
There's nothing
Have we
down there.
explored? Okay.
Regardless.
That's a tunnel to the outside, I think.
That is, if you go down at Rin, that's a tunnel that has one of those little pockets where it's technically under the pond, but you can dive under and then up into the pond.
I can't remember the word for it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do too.
I love that one for Dr. Stone.
Right. Huron upstairs.
So the book we were reading, it was that charred one from earlier that we were struggling to decode.
Is that the one that tried to eat her hand?
No,
That's what I'm
that was
asking.
entirely different.
Okay.
The spell book was the one that you had to murder, and that was sucking the life out of her arm.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And I never saw the spell book, so my solution doesn't work. Okay.
Unfortunate. Sorry, I was trying to cannibalize her. Couldn't let it.
Shame.
No,
I've
you're
heard
good.
it.
I was gonna just encode thoughts and make a memory copy of it if I had seen it, but I have one of the book from above.
Damn you,
Yeah, the other one with the demons, that was with the devil summoning, that was pretty much burned. Any of the useful information was burnt of it.
Okay. I would like to send a message to Lord
He's
Fausten.
asleep.
He's asleep across the hallway.
He can still be targeted.
Yeah.
POV, you're sleeping. You shoot up in the middle of the night. Hello, dear. Like,
Brother.
Probably not do that. Let's just wait for him to wake up.
God damn it.
You see Rin about to cast a message.
He is
No.
he's across the
Let
hallway, my brother.
me-
All right.
He's 20 feet away. Matter. Well, why didn't he wake up? He's a heavy sleeper. Damn.
Earplugs.
I rolled.
Now I
perception
know you
for-
want him to sleep in. This feels urgent.
Oh, really? It feels urgent to where someone shouldn't be sleeping. They should be involved.
You could have woken me up.
We didn't know
First
you were in
off,
the
no
ring.
one knew you were in the ring. You put it on Veda's finger while she was asleep.
I had no idea. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shoot.
You vanished into some different space. None of us knew how to get you out of there.
So I can still hear if you just yell loud enough my name, Rin, wake up, etc.
Well,
How do
we
I
know
explain?
that now, but that would have been nice to know beforehand.
To be fair, I didn't expect to be woken up in the middle of the night to have to come and dive into this. I was hoping to scrub myself a little bit clean in there.
And did you?
Let's get him upstairs, please.
If Bill will allow me to have like any kind of sponges that I could have found on my way out.
Wait, this is a ladder upstairs, isn't it?
I like to
Upstairs.
think that they
No,
stopped to
it's a
argue
set
as
of
Vane is still
stairs.
carrying him.
Okay.
They stopped
Yeah,
to
that's what I
argue.
figured.
That's why I made the sound. Poor coffin bearers. Poor pallbearers. Poor ass.
Vaduin's gonna see. Oh my god, Vaduin's gonna see Vena dying,
In her,
pulling up out or Huron dying,
in her nightgown.
cut up in her nightgown.
In her nightgown.
Yep.
Very salaciously, but still tasteful.
Shut up.
And then Rin just tip top, prancing out.
Prancing. Yeah, that's about right.
As soon-
Truly, I hope that this means you will consider any actions you take more carefully in the future.
I would love to have this conversation once the threat we're dealing with has been dealt with.
It has been dealt with.
Lovely. Would you? I doubt Lord Falson would object. If you'd like, we can talk about it in the dining room.
Gonna set her on in the corner, please. Just up against the wall, all nice and pretty.
Yeah, you see, Fadewind helps you carrying Huron, and you see he has set out not only like made sure that your bed is all set, your bedroll. He's also set out a new nightgown for you.
Is it his?
How does he know we're
No.
sizes?
No, he carries stuff like that. He's a retainer.
My lady.
Uh,
My lady.
Pyro, why would he not know his ideal woman's measurements?
He just
Oh
has.
my god.
What a lad.
People can't have heroes anymore.
No.
Ew.
Not allowed.
People can't like have someone to look up to anymore. They're
Shane,
simping.
it's current
I mean-
year. Nothing's good anymore.
What a man, what a man, what a
Ew.
man, what a mighty good man.
You
Anyway.
won't let me delete it.
I am deadened. I really would mute myself, but again,
Also,
the
Shane,
fucking recording. We'll
You
just
you
catch it.
cemented this the moment when we said it and you went, no! That's how we knew immediately, okay, this bit's going nowhere.
We could sense you being dehydrated from the pure cringe.
Okay.
If you had just gone, yeah, that's funny, you would have never heard it again.
Yeah. Real shit.
Izzy, can you please
Die.
wake up your father?
She nods and goes downstairs.
So while she's stepping out, I would like, with the party, sat down at the table, just like to discuss the incident.
Lady Vena, do you need anything?
No, thank you, Fadewind.
Okay.
She will take the extra nightgown and walk into this other room over here, shut the door, change, and then go back. You know.
He's
She'll
sweet
set
lad.
aside the ripped up one. Yes, thank you, Fadewind.
Does anyone have like a good insight, like 14, 15-ish plus?
Let me see what my
14, 15, like passive?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say you would be able to read Rin fairly well then.
My passive insight. What would the. I don't have.
It
I'm
has
basically
it-
just saying,
It has it in parentheses beside
be
your abilities. Yeah.
12.
then probably just Inanna, which it fits why she's so kind of hostile to him. he has the body language of somebody who looks like they're ready to listen. But there's also a bit of leaning back a little bit and just like going through the formalities of apologizing. But it's very subtle. It seems like there is. I think that's as much as a 15-ish would be. If the
Mhm.
DM would like to ask for one, I can give varying degrees of what Rin's body language tells about him. Not
If
the
it's
backseat DM apologies.
Just in case you don't know anything.
Yeah. Listen, yours was in case you don't know anything. Mine is in case the DM wants to do this.
I mean,
You will be
I guess
stabbed.
you can roll me
Chris,
performance.
you-
I guess.
Can I argue it's persuasion or deception?
You can argue that.
Either
Are-
one.
Are you going to argue, or are you just going to say? Are you just going to put that up?
I mean, it is a bit of an act, so you are kind of correct in saying performance, but it's also a bit of a.
He's
He wants them to
alive.
believe
Is he
that this is.
This
consciously
man
performing, or is it just
Ye-
more?
is a
It is
clown.
consciously he is putting on a bit of an act, but he's
He's
also trying to hide the actual feelings he's feeling about the moment.
You're deceiving them.
Okay, then I guess that's deception.
Yes.
So you
22.
lie.
You are like Papa.
Not enough.
Guess Bane.
I don't think I would have thought to guide myself.
Karen casts
Lucky.
Karen casts Bane again from Saturday.
I can't wait to see Huron wake up, stand immediately above, and stare down at me and get like a
Did
natural
anyone
20.
go into Huggins'
Flex.
kitchen?
Oh yeah, you have access to. Yeah, no, he took your old he took your old he should be asleep. He took your old nightgown and went to Huggins' room. Yes.
I
He's
was
not
gonna
watching.
try to watch it forever.
Yeah, no,
Ghost
no.
Huggins.
Somebody hug this. I think Rin's gonna hug this boy and be like, easy. Like,
You know, he's washing. He's getting the blood stains out before they set. You know.
Bruh.
He's doing it right, just wrong timing.
Seltzer water and lemon for blood, or just wear red.
luckily, it
dumbass.
is the kitchen. It is the kitchen, so.
I hear.
Sorry, I didn't really get to choose my nightgown color while I was fighting an incubus from hell.
You know.
Oh, no, Deadpool. Got it.
I did.
I have heard that from Deadpool. I just wanted to put in my own input.
Hmm.
You
So
know,
another-
what do I know?
This from Rin.
You pick up the kind of like sort of something. It's not a natural thing that he's doing. It's not second
Yeah.
nature.
She clocks the vibe I'm getting is very much like, yeah, I'm gonna get punished and I'll hate it for a little bit and then I'll be over it. Why do you think this doesn't affect you?
I'm a sinner. Oh no.
Hmm. There's a very long and deep conversation about that.
That
The
he
short
started?
version is, oh god, no, that's hours long and it's a very closely guarded secret. Hmm. Rin is not eating pretzels. Connor is just like a dumbass.
Valid.
Pretzels too. Nice.
I got some like seasoned ones at work. Oh, anyway. It's more or less my nature.
Stubborn as a rock, then.
Something like that. Let me put it this way. If you were to stumble across what's an extra planar to you folks? Are dragons extra planar? No,
No.
they're from here.
I suppose a celestial or a demon or a devil.
We'll go
what
with
we-
celestial. Will you? All right, I'm gonna file that away. So let's suppose a celestial went about. You were in a land of celestials, and eventually, you're going to return here. There's a different mindset to those travelers that there is no permanent mark on them, that they're not really tethered to their vacation, if we want to call it that. I lack a better word in common. Um, suppose outing, voyage, um, expedition might be a little better, but nevertheless, it I maintain that the base of it is I just. It's not that I don't care. It's that I don't know how I would.
Vayna just puts her fist, not not like slamming it, but not lightly, on the table. The
Good
value of innocent life should not change
And I
based
do
on that.
I do mourn her. And like I said, if there was something I could do, I would. I speak only truth. But
It is
I
something you can do, and it is something you do in the future. It's not a one and done thing. Repentance is not a single act.
perhaps I was just raised different. But grief and mourning past mistakes is not something I've been
It's
taught.
not about mourning. You're thinking of it wrong. It's not about mourning. It's not about being sad or regretful about what you've done. Well, it's a little bit of regret. But the motivation behind it is to do better the next time, to improve, to not make the same mistake over again.
He sits for a second, thinks,
Rin,
hmm,
you sent her away. We were here to protect them. We can't protect them if you do that. You sent her away for what reason? That she annoyed you.
and uh, targeted me out to get in the way of me doing the job I was brought on to do. Yes, and I realize in hindsight it's easy to see that it was an overstep, but I urge you to look at it from my perspective. All I did was a harmless spell that would have put her out of the way of what would have been the entirety of the job, and then we would have never had to deal with her again, and she would have never had to deal with us. And we would have been able to finish out our job on our merry way, from what I had known.
But you sent her away, Rin. We can't protect them if they're gone.
We
Our whole
also weren't
job was
sure
to
of her
discover
full
what was
involvement
happening.
otherwise.
The same could be said that I could not help protect them if I was prevented from looking around.
You may have been hindered, but I was not. And there were ways that I could persuade her to let you help, which I did.
Do you truly believe there was no other way for anyone to get past her ever during this mission? Truly.
A thought come to his mind at first, and he quickly does not say it. And not for anyone, everyone else, but for me, there was no other option than to sit and let her tell me no.
But there were other things that you could have done, other tasks you could have attended to.
No, I had
And
done.
no less, you didn't even have to do them alone.
I
There were
had
other
done.
things you could have investigated.
We had searched the whole level up here, and you all were headed downstairs. I was splitting up to help
He
get
never
a.
even went upstairs.
I did end up going upstairs.
I remember
No.
they
Oh, wait,
brought
no.
the book down to you.
No, you
Oh,
never
They
yeah.
brought
did.
the book to
Well,
you.
The
I
book got brought
tried.
down to you, but Huron took you
I
down.
had tried to go upstairs. Side eyes to Huron.
Let me put it to you this way. Different type of example. Say that someday down the road, we encounter two types of obstacles. One that requires physical prowess, and another that requires mental acuity or magical abilities. If you are not capable of overcoming one, would you not simply go to the other as long as there are other people that can overcome one? Or must you do the thing you have decided that you need to overcome? even if it is not necessarily something that you need to do, as long as it can be done.
I hear your point, and it's a very good one. However, this was not a this was a task I was very good at investigating. Correct me, DM. We had already seen hints of uh, demon like infernal activity, right? Before
Devil,
we went
yeah.
up there. I'm I'm
Not before you went upstairs.
We only knew about the drowned. They're only undead.
so it was
Yeah.
only undead from that point.
Yes.
I had hoped to. I'm a fairly intelligent individual. I'm generally good with people. I had hoped to try and put my mental acuity to work upstairs and start pulling out points of interest and helping the group as a whole. But if it were as if Huron here is clearly our meaty problem solver, it's as if a boulder was in the road, and instead of letting Huron try to push it out of the way, they had said some. He tries to think of a polite way to refer in this metaphor. Creature had said, "No, no, you cannot. You simply are not allowed to. I want one of them to. One of, for instance, me, someone not as physically gifted." It would seem counterintuitive to listen to somebody who was impeding something that was we were brought to do.
Inanna just looks at him and goes, "You do understand that this does happen in real life. These things do happen, quite literally. Sometimes people will give you something and you go in as a group and they decide they want a specific person to do it for whatever reason, or they don't want a specific person to do it. We can all bitch and moan about that later. We can do that at the tavern amongst ourselves, and we all would have. Bitching and moaning about things, that's normal. But taking some sort of action, that's severe. Without consulting anyone else, that does affect all of us. Because sending her away when she was our charge, and we didn't know her full involvement or not, when she could have been the person responsible for all we knew at that time, sending her away
I had
without so much as a discussion, even a mention to anyone else, that's not something you can do every time these things happen. And they will happen again. That's life.
had asked for help from Lord Falson to have her let me through and was told no. But you make good points, and I can try to do better. Uh,
That's
I,
the point.
I'm taking it to heart.
That's the point. Redemption, recompense. These things are constant works. It's unfortunate that it's not a one-time fee or a one-time penitent act. It's understanding the consequences of what you did before. Understanding how to prevent it from happening again. Whether it's from your own actions or from someone else's. If you see one of us possibly doing something like that, you can remind us of this. But
I
it's
can
also
do.
good to know that that instinct is in you and you might have to curb it.
I
know
can
that
do better in the future, but
that's all we really ask.
I understand that I can be a bit proud,
Rock solid.
stubborn, proud.
Not those words, Liv. Come on. Why rock solid?
But he's a rock.
Think
I
about it.
know.
I'm well aware of that.
Some have
Okay.
said my head is rock hard. But that one's for you, Liv.
Mm,
Eh.
I assure you, eventually things do get through. You just kind of
Vano
have to keep.
will slowly get out of her chair.
You just gotta... Sorry. Lynn still
Just-
sat there, body language seeming apologetic.
Shut up, Pyro. You're ruining my sense of thought.
Sorry, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
Damn it.
Turn off the snap cuts.
Oh, off it goes. Well, Vana stands up. Please, just you have to consider safety. And then she will start going downstairs to see what's taking Izzy so long. I know there's literally a reason because we were talking, but she'll go
Vayner
check
doesn't
on them.
Yeah. As you go down, you like with the door still open. You hear her. You hear Lord Fausten fretting about what the hell happened to Izzy's arm, and her just trying to like. She's more blubbering than explaining anything.
I did want to talk to Inanna for a second if we get before we're fully out of this scene.
Go ahead.
And by the way, Inanna, he takes the ring off that you got and slides it over to her, so that you are informed in the future. Once a day, I can call on my heritage and enter into this ring for about 4 hours currently. As I get stronger and more tuned to it and accustomed to the powers, I can stay longer. Inside of there, I can store physical objects that I carry with me, bringing them in and out as I go, but I can only enter it once per day. I can hear, and if Bill, can I see out of it as well? It's not explicitly written, but it's up to you if whether or not if there's like a glass bead on it that I can see out of it like a skylight. Just very small.
I will have to debate that.
If he says yes, Rin tells you that. If he says no, Rin does not tell you that. I give it to people while I'm sleeping to better protect me from being jumped in the night. I had given it to Vena, as she had been very good in the fight earlier, and had hoped when the morning come, I would have just came back out of it and gotten the ring back. That, if you like, you, I would. As funny as it would be to try and shake it, it doesn't actually shake the things in the ring. But if you would like, I can leave it with you one night, as a show of trust. And if you should need me, call.
I do trust you. This is very helpful. Just this discussion. It just helps to learn. And that's what I want to do with Izzy as well. We all make mistakes. Part of life is overcoming them and learning from them. Some of them are larger and more severe than others, and as a consequence, the results usually tend to be larger and more severe. But in reply, I don't have anything specific like that that I think would affect anyone else, but I do have some mild ability to repel undead and a lot of storm and elemental based magic ability. I have a few things that I can prepare differently, so if you need something prepared, let me know the night before so that I have enough notice.
You all had seen most of my abilities, save one, and he pulls out that small. If it wasn't this, I'm changing it now because it's thematic. The small little fluorescent pink gem. It just kind of has a little trail of dust come off of it, almost looking like a psychic thread that fades into nothing. And as he moves it, it has like a lagging after image. I can make a copy of things I see for later analysis. I can pull a memory, an idea, a message from my mind, and I can pull on it later, or if someone has the ability to read thoughts or affect them, they can also see it. This one currently is the book that we'd seen earlier, not the spell book that you all had discussed, but the infernal one, the summoning one. I had hoped to be able to bring it into the guild to give it more information this morning.
Well, we still possibly can. I mean, the thing we were fighting did go away when she broke her contract with it, so it's still out there. We didn't kill it.
Mm.
That would have been beyond us.
Can you describe specifically the type of demon? This is me asking Bill if I can make a check to see if I know what a succubus or incubus are.
It had wings and some ability to charm. It had Huron charmed. Seemed to be almost affectionate in its charming.
Hmm.
Almost suggestive.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an Arcana check, Ren.
History instead?
No.
I'll give you advantage on the Arcana.
No,
Okay.
spoiling him.
20.
Why are you on private?
Yeah, why?
Oh, whoopsies.
Why are you private?
Whoopsie.
Doesn't count.
See days.
Was
Good
on the
question.
was on the
You'll never know.
what's on the recording didn't count.
Just confessing my undying love to Bill, and he the same. Don't worry about it.
But I thought we had something.
Valid.
Count it, please.
Why was I didn't see it if you did.
Oh,
My
no.
fanfic life gets even deeper.
Damn.
One day my tsundere will notice me.
You're drier than you walked into this
Yeah.
call. How?
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with that. But yeah, Ren, with that, you could probably tell it was an incubus. Though, given some of the other details about him, given the way he dressed, and the fact that he did I'm just gonna assume Anana told you that they used a silver knife on him.
Yeah.
You would actually know most incubi wouldn't really even be affected by silver. Like that's not usually a thing. Also Aldred.
Rare incubus. I knew it.
No, also Aldred made a check last session. And we'll say that in the book it said he was a demon, not a demon, a devil of beauty, which is sort of a subset of incubi and different. And with with 20, they are sort of vain, more vain than normal incubi even, and the pure reflection.
Is about them.
Yeah. You would be able to tell like they're stronger than incubi, but usually still not affected by silver. So it seems. Oh, I'm moving you. Just looking. I really need to stop. Selecting.
Yeah. Oh, you're moving me.
Things. Yeah. It seems like he may have been weakened by whatever was binding him here.
Which was released when he was out of his contract.
Yeah. So you think if you ever see him again, he's probably going to be more of a pain in the ass.
That makes sense.
Rin kind of makes a mental note and feeds all this back. It's not impossible down the line. The clerical type are pretty good at finding ways to affect beings of the lower planes.
That would be me.
And upper planes if you find the right cleric. But
That would not be me.
I'm sure I'll broaden your horizons at some point. He smirks.
Right. Whatever that means.
I'll let you fill in the blanks. Anyway, I'm going to check on Vena. Actually, she might want to be away from me for a bit. I'm going to sit here with Huron.
Brave.
If you have any way of getting him up, that'd be helpful. I'm tapped.
Lord, no. Best of luck
No,
with that.
he's just going to lay there until he wakes up.
I mean,
Also,
I'll go.
when he wakes up, you might want to dodge him.
I'll throw a blanket and a pillow under his head. Well, the pillow and the blanket over him, and then I'm
Right, but did you hear what I said?
technically, because of the weird rules and wordings of things, technically I can go back in the ring again now.
I still wouldn't do that now if you have a limited amount of time, so I think he's going to
Yeah.
be out for a little
I'm gonna wait for
bit.
him to wake up, and if I palm it in your hand, you just 4 hours later I'll be booted
Then
out.
we can at least tell him that it's been discussed. You don't need to be suplexed into the ground. He still might do it when you get out of the ring. Just, duck.
Duly noted.
Duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge.
Dodge twice. Duly noted.
Correct.
And Rin will
Very
just
large. You're going to have to get good.
Rin will go get the actual pillow and blanket for Huron, and then we can cut over to Vena.
Vanna would have went downstairs, saw her blabbling as Faustin was.
Blabbling.
Oh, well. No, unlock the door. That's what I meant to do. Okay, we're gonna put blur over blur.
Bill sure is existing tonight.
What am I doing? What?
Existing.
I am existing. It's something I'm doing right now. But yeah, okay, I forgot to bring you guys over here.
Landris.
No. We were still kind of on the table.
Please zoom out.
We can be over here now. All right, we've come down the stairs. I'm going the wrong way.
I see nothing.
Can't you
Yeah,
see what this?
Slipping in and out.
Where is the observer?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't
You're-
know. You're unconscious.
You're in fucking Tron right now, Pyro. Please.
You're
Ah!
in a whole nother dimension, my friend.
You die. Don't die in the game, Pyro.
There we go.
Vanna will step forward, seeing as how Lord Faustin is wondering about her injuries.
Yeah, and she's trying to babble about what the hell is going on, and Faust is more worried about what happened to her.
She will basically wrap her arms around Izzy. Calm down. Lord Faustin, your daughter's not in any danger anymore. We've found out what has been happening, and it should not be happening any longer. We believe that it is dealt with, but we would like to give you details upstairs, please.
Oh, so you know where Barnaby is?
Reluctantly, Barnaby is dead.
Oh. Oh no.
Please, if we can discuss this upstairs.
Okay.
And she'll basically walk Izzy out up the steps.
Oh boy. Okay, well, back upstairs. Back upstairs.
Great, I gotta load this shit again.
Return to the up.
Is it not? Didn't that or stay loaded?
It just takes a moment to shift the entire map, and it stays tan for about between 10 seconds and 5. It's fine.
Not
Tan.
Vanna will sit Izzy down in the chair north of her. And I imagine Austin's going to sit in his own chair.
By the way, this pillow and blanket are ruined. They're covered in blood. I'm actively bleeding.
If you were stabilized, you're not bleeding.
The wounds are open. No one's.
No, I wouldn't say that.
The wounds are open.
I would say you're not
Well, he's
You're
not
not bleeding to
gushing.
death. Like you would still have like half coagulated blood on you
Yeah.
and whatnot. Like
Oh,
there would be
yeah.
enough to ruin a blanket and a
Yeah.
Whoopsies. In Rin's mind, canon now, he's just like, nah, it can't be that expensive to get silk.
Ooh.
I'm sure it's
Those are
I'm
over
sure
here.
it's easy to clean. Right, Faya? Right, Fadewin?
Doing scrubbing away. Yep.
Maximum power.
Is now sewing up all the cuts in it. He's done washing it.
Nice.
Well, he's better than Huggins.
Wait, he's sewing it while wet?
Oh, he dried it.
Oh,
With his,
We ran
better
out
than Huggins.
with his hands.
You know, you just bring it out and then you just like weave it around a lot, and like it's like a dryer.
he just held it to his face, thought of Vanna, blushed so hard it steam dried. We get it.
It's not that bad to sew something while it's still damp. Like, you don't want to be soaking wet, but if it's a little damp, it's not the end of the world.
So yeah, no, it's
Anyway.
dry enough. It's dry. He's just doing his retainer things. Don't worry about it.
Well,
He's just retaining.
He's retaining the sim status. So
After sitting Izzy down and taking her own seat,
Wait, where the hell did?
Izzy's under Vena.
Oh, that's where I was trying to look for Vena. That's why I moved you.
I'm like, who did this? Why have I been scooched?
Aldrin's just squatting in the entryway, just like
I don't deserve this.
I feel like Rin would move to the opposite end of the table, not even second thought.
All right. Interesting choice there.
Lord Fausten, we discovered that with both the undead presence and the unease has been somewhat caused by two different things. One of them was a fiend, a devil. And the other one was some sort of strange magic book, a grimoire. The devil has been, well, devil has left, and the grimoire has been destroyed.
He's nodding. He's just so. Where did this grimoire? Who was wielding this grimoire then?
Your daughter.
And with that, she just sort of puts her face in her hands. Just, yes, it was me. And Lord Pheasant looks. Izzy, how could you do such a thing? And she said, I didn't mean to. I didn't even want this grimoire. I just wanted to. I just wanted to a friend, and you know how I was saying earlier that I thought one of your friends was showing up, and you thought I was crazy. He just nods. There was actually someone here, because he taught me how to read that summoning book, and he taught me how to. Sorry, what was that?
Who did?
I-
Inanna says.
I don't know. He was a hooded figure, and I don't even know if he was a he. They were
All right.
they were. She's obviously trying to think about it really hard. I can't remember them.
Well, that's definitely on purpose from their part.
She shakes her head. Anyway, he showed up one day, and I was eager to talk to them like I was to talk to you guys. And he noticed the book. He taught me how to read it, and he kept coming over because I thought he was a friend of my dad's, and so I didn't question it. And he taught me how to read, and the language. He taught me how to use a book. He gave me that. He helped me create the secret room, and he helped me make a contract to summon a devil. Summon. He said it was perfectly safe, and he helped me make the contract. And I looked over the contract, and it was completely safe. But But after I summoned Jalisco, the and the man left, it had changed. It had changed a lot. When I read it again.
You have a
Well, if
copy
he
of
had
this
made you forget
contract?
things before, he definitely could have made you forget things changing in the contract.
Do you have a copy of this contract?
It was part of the grimoire.
Damn.
Dear.
Can
I
you?
know almost everything that could have been at work here, but Vena would not.
Can I make a check as somebody who has dealt with people making deals and having to be very key on their wording to try and think of a way from it would probably be a very, very hard thing for me to do, but
Make
it-
me an Arcana check.
just trying to use genie knowledge to like reverse engineer what happened.
Make me an Arcana check.
21.
Oh, excuse me. There's a very low level spell called Illusory Script that basically changes what people see in writing, and if you're not checking for it, it can screw you over, and it can make you look like you're signing something that you're not. And that is like there are other ways you could do that with your 21. Like there are other ways you could like modify someone's perception of it. But like you would
That's the
think the
easiest.
easiest way to modify a contract would be Illusory Script.
He will mention this to the table.
Interesting. Then he wouldn't have had to modify that that part of your memory.
And the paper
it-
would technically be signed.
That's true.
And as far as I know with devils, is so long as they get your name on the dotted line, that's as far as it goes. There's no arguing intent.
Izzy, you said that the man noticed the book. Was the book already here?
The book about the devils, yes,
Summoning.
that was already here. The grimoire is what he gave me.
Right.
And Lord Faucet's like, yeah, you were the ones that showed him the book. He's like, yeah, that was part of my collection that I never ended up, learning how to read.
Just thumbing back through my thought strand of the book, if I don't know if I can exactly do it in this way, so I'd like DM adjudication. So I made a thought strand of reading the book, the memory of what the pages looked like. Can I like use it so long as this thread lasts for the next couple hours? To just like read the book as if I had it and just without getting up and going and hunting it down.
I mean, you still, I think Aldred still has the book.
Oh. So is
Yeah,
that a
I
no?
don't think you put it back.
So is that a no to trying to read the thought strand again?
I mean,
'Cause
well,
ten-
you could, but I'm just Aldred has the book.
Okay.
Saying you don't have to.
It feels cool to have Rin just thumbing it under the table, just trying to turn over the pages and piece stuff together. Looking for things a devil would find a interest.
How many days did this hooded figure visit you?
It was, I don't know the exact number, but it was a fair amount over a long, long time.
Over about a couple of months, would you say?
I think
Did you?
the further I think back, the hazier,
Louder.
yeah, but it was at least a year.
That is a very long time.
Did you never mention this person to your father?
I did. He nods. I thought she was just making something up, or just saw Barnaby at night or something. Because the doors, nothing ever got in the doors. I even checked one night, and all the doors were locked. So I don't
Did you
know.
happen to check the door into her bedroom at the balcony?
He didn't at that point. He wasn't. He never came in through the balcony.
All right.
Well,
Given the contract basically was worded in a way where basically anyone trying to leave the property who might have even a chance of knowing what was going on would have to be killed by Jalisco.
Why so secret about it? Was my question.
I don't know.
Well, consider this food for thought as I discussed with my party. Suppose you're an individual of enough intelligence to show someone a was the book already destroyed when they arrived, or was it destroyed in the process?
the
Uh,
demon book or the devil book? God damn it!
Yeah, devil book, not grimoire.
the the dev I actually don't know how that got burnt. But it got burnt
Probably
after
something this mysterious figure took away from you.
So, if you're an intelligent enough individual to know how to summon devils when you have a handbook on how to do so, and the book is, according to Lord Faust, an art of the deal, what do you stand to gain if you're not directly tied to this devil? And further still, why keep everything so secret about the deal? Surely it eventually has to be found out. Was it just buying time to let them escape? Was it
I,
some condition that they benefited from?
I don't know, but the contract also said that I had to turn any person that died into one of the drowned.
You had to do it.
Yes. Or the book, as you saw, would have. I wasn't allowed to break the contract with Jalisco or tell anyone about it, or the book would have killed me. So
Do you? Can I make a check to know if I know of any demons of temptation or corruption, like full on biblical, like tempting people to do evil to turn them?
I mean, that's kind of all of them. Well, not all of them, but that's a lot of them
Most of them.
are yeah are trying to tempt people to do evil shit.
Fair.
Some of them just want to kill people, but like
It's
some,
mostly demons doing that.
yeah, mostly
How,
demons are the more like, but there are some devils that just don't like people either, and just make
What
contracts
demons
just
be like?
to
So I am
cause
getting a
problems.
vibe that this person who spoke to her was a devil, not just a person who knew stuff then. Okay.
Izzy, how did Barnaby and Agatha and the male people, how did they find out about Jalisco?
They well, Agatha didn't, but part of the contract was if Jalisco had any thoughts that any of my family could possibly be trying to tell about it, then he was allowed to kill them. The only reason my dad survived was because he's he had extra protection. Thought he was not even allowed near my dad, so he couldn't kill him.
You had him off limits.
Yes,
But if you were signing a fake contract, why would they even bother giving your father protection?
I I don't know if they didn't change that part, or I wrote that part in myself, so I don't know if they didn't
Interesting.
go over it properly, or but I discussed the
They
I,
probably thought if that was the price to get you to sign it for everything else, it was worth it.
My thoughts, exactly.
but yeah, since Agatha was clearly under the influence of magic, then he was allowed to. And Fausta just looks so Agatha's as well,
Unfortunate.
Because
and he just like looks like even deeper into just like his worry and despair. He's just like, oh my god.
How did Barnaby and the others find out, dear?
The male people, none of them found out, but
it's
despite
just
entering the property, the contract said they could not leave.
it's more of this fiend had reason under contract specific wording to just kill people.
Yeah, uh, I mean, the contract said I had to raise them as drowned, so I assume he just wanted more bodies, which is why
What did the drowned do for him?
they didn't do anything for him. Once the contract was signed, he left.
I imagine that this creating of the drowned and had nothing to do with the fiend. I
No,
believe the fiend didn't even want to be here in the first place. From
no, Jalisco didn't even really want to be. I thought he was happy at first that he had someone, but he didn't really like that. I wasn't exactly feeding him that well, so he got bored really quickly. But no, he didn't even like the drowned. He didn't like how they smelled and didn't like them getting all gross stuff on his clothes or whatnot, how they smelled. So he stayed away from them for the most part.
Interesting.
maybe it's possible that this figure wanted to see testing, writing out contracts, or seeing maybe creating undead. Perhaps they took into consideration Lord Faustin's desire to minimize outside movement and things and interactions with others. Wanted to use this large location to either test this or maybe even just have an undead farm.
She just kind of shrugs. I guess. I don't know.
This person spent considerable time doing this. You said over the course of an entire year.
I mean, yeah, but
Get you to sign.
yeah, they probably only visited about once or twice a month, so it was just over a while. It wasn't They weren't actually here physically that long.
That's still a considerable investment of their time and their energies.
Especially if they were traveling to other places, they would have to come back here.
Lord Faustin, you didn't have any enemies or people who would benefit from your downfall, right?
I mean, there. I'm a noble family. There's always someone trying to
I think
outpower me, but
Is there someone in town who you have specifically cornered a market on them bad enough that they would resort to this?
no. Ever since we downsized, I was just about to say, ever since we downsized, we haven't really been. It's a problem for anyone, so I don't see why they'd need to
and
do
I had
something
thought about
after
it
the fact.
as well. Everyone has enemies, but this doesn't seem to be targeted at Lord Faustin to make him take the fall for anything or something like that, considering Izzy was the one who had to write into the contract to protect him. And, of course, the other people in the household, as much as that meant in the end with how contracts were worded. But I don't believe that this is targeted at Lord Faustin because of who he is, but more of his position and, well, points around the building. His estate. I think it's just large enough for him to test this kind of thing because they needed to dig that extra room with the circle. They needed a place to store the undead, and they needed a large enough area far enough away from other places that disappearances could happen.
It
And
could just be that the souls of all these people who returned to drowned ended up in the hands of whoever initially facilitated the contract, and that she had to do it to, as per the parameter, to send it to them. And so they were just making money in a devil's equivalent.
Was there some sort of ritual or something that you used to create the drowned? Do you remember any of it?
It was part of the book, but
I
I,
assume.
I, he even said I wasn't really powerful enough to do something like this normally. The power was more in the grimoire, so there was a lot of ritual up.
Interesting. That's not typically how magic works.
No,
Well, looks at fucking Rin. In some cases,
Yes,
the
but
power
there's
is given by
yeah,
something else.
a contract binding magic to someone else. The magic still has to come from somewhere. It's like caging an animal to a person. It still has to come from something powerful, and then it gets tethered to something less so. And over time, one can start to eclipse and absorb that power. Generally, but it's a shame you don't remember any of the grimoire pages.
I mean, I
No.
remember some of them, but that the that specific spell, I couldn't remember it on my own.
There
Yes.
definitely seems to have been a lot of effort put into making sure you don't remember things.
She just kind of looks a bit actually embarrassed, but she's like, I don't think that was even part of it. I just don't think I'm
It's
smart
probably a
enough to
large
remember.
ritual, Inanna. I don't.
There's also a lot of her memory that's been modified. Remember, she can't even remember what this person looks like. It's
Oh.
on purpose, at least some of it.
Yes. But
I mean, he might have given me, might have taught me a spell knowing that I wasn't strong enough or good enough wizard to remember it on my own. But
I mean, most wizards don't remember more than the most rudimentary on their own. That's why they have the books.
I couldn't even cast the spell without the grimoire, even
it's
if
all
I had.
right.
Hey, that's how wizards work, dear.
Well, it's more of like
Not
warlocks.
entirely.
There's a boon for warlocks. They have a magical book, a grimoire, a book of shadows that they can have knowledge based in to grant them access to rituals they otherwise wouldn't be able to perform.
Oh, yes, of course, but any sort of powerful wizard, for any more powerful spell, they're going to need their book, even ritually.
Out of character, wizards can cast any spell they have prepared without the book.
Yes,
They had to have
But
the book on.
But
they
they-
can't switch their prepared spells without the book.
correct. They
They
have to
can't
memorize
just
them at the
cast
beginning of the
without
day.
the book. They have to memorize the ones they want at the beginning of the day. That's the only reason why
Well,
wizards can't cast every spell they have.
yeah,
As wizards, so
Izzy will
fucking weird.
Izzy will confirm this as will Aldred that the wizards can prepare spells and cast it as long as they have an arcane focus. It doesn't need to be the book as long as they have it
The rest
prepared.
of them just use the book, because why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, you already have the book. Why am I going to get something else to carry around when I have no strength as a wizard?
but yeah, Izzy saying
Focus
she
doesn't
could
need
not
it.
quote unquote prepare the spell even if she tried. It had to be from the book.
Very powerful, then.
Ritual casting, if you like. Probably had ritual caster. Or well, was quote unquote given ritual caster by the book.
Well, wizards can ritual cast anyway.
Book of
Yeah, I
Shadows.
know.
It's an invocation. We're more leaning on that she's a warlock here.
She said she's called herself a wizard.
I think I'm a wizard.
Unreliable narrative.
And you
Narrative.
call forth lesser spells on your own.
Yeah, and she will. What was her spell book? Yep, and yeah, she. I guess. Oh, I guess she'll just cast shield
Aye, that's a good one.
as just like a now a spectral shield is floating around here.
Alright.
All right. How does it
Definitely
feel?
some weird item. Have you studied magic before you met this figure?
A little.
Were you capable of casting before?
I was capable of casting a couple of cantrips and an occasional, but he really taught me how and told me how to practice in a way that let me actually cast spells.
Right.
Like
Now, what does it feel like when you're casting a spell?
kind of just like cast mage hand and just like waves it around. I I don't know what you mean. It just feels
What
like
does the
there's.
magic feel like? Does it have a specific sensation or a place it feels like it's connected to or coming from?
I mean, it feels like it's coming from my hands and my focus when I make my somatic gestures.
Right.
It feels sort of tingly on my fingertips.
It's probably this book was specific to something, and it it allowed her to expand her magic knowledge, but only with its specific abilities.
When I was casting my the ritual that turned the corpses into drowned, it didn't feel like I was the one putting forth the power, I guess.
It was probably the power of the book,
Tethered.
or whatever
Just
made it.
did that one have a feel that you could pinpoint?
I mean, it felt wrong. I didn't
Wrong.
like doing it, obviously, but I didn't feel anything bodily, just the emotions of it.
Interesting.
Well, don't imagine we'll get very much further with the book itself, considering that it is into cinders. So I believe that I have something to say to my group here. From everything that I've heard, I don't believe that Izzy should be held responsible for all this death. Granted that she was tricked through illusory script in
I
a
agree.
contract she tried to protect everyone from, and she couldn't stop the contract, else she would also die. And I'm not sure. I know it sounds a little selfish when I word it that way, but if she were to die, then that fiend could have ran around and did whatever it wanted, and maybe the hooded figure would find some other way to cause suffering.
How old is the DM?
Z is just
She's,
about 18 years old.
yeah, I was about to say she's almost 18.
As you're saying this, Rin is staring at Lord Fasten and waiting for you to pause to say something.
Go ahead.
And another addendum, though. Izzy may not be at fault here, but there is somebody who has some blame to share here. He stands up. Lord Fausten,
He just sort of squints at you. What are you implying?
are you aware what her original reason for trying to contract this demon was?
He just looks over. Just yes, she felt stifled and
Trapped, more specifically. Wrong accent. Trapped, more specifically.
My God, it's like Ford all over again.
In reverse. Yeah.
Hail, hail.
Wait, no, this is right.
Throw that Ford into reverse.
Beep. Not with these transmissions. Anyway,
Tough.
you're aware what the unintentional hand you've had in this is, correct? Or do I need to say it aloud?
no, I realize.
Nana scoffs at that.
Though if I will say there's a difference between this and if we are just standing up back at you talking about unintended consequences. If you are to say I am liable for this, I would say you're even more liable for Agatha's death.
Oh, we've already discussed that with him.
When you're right, and he's going to start walking around the table.
All right, okay, hold on.
But he doesn't go. He's going slowly. But consider, you keep her here out of fear of losing her. But I want you to consider, had we not come, what the ultimate result of this might have been.
And
I'll stop here. That's all That's my parting gift. Consider how you might go about changing your outlook in the future for both of your sakes. And he'll walk back to his seat.
I understand. I also
Good to
ask that you
hear.
might change yours. Just kind of scoffs, sending out an old woman middle of the night during a fucking missing person investigation.
all
Dear,
right,
dear.
that's not
I
bad
never
of
said I
Loki.
was
We've already
good.
discussed.
Look, there's been enough this evening. We don't have to resort to harassing one another. I'm
I
sure.
seek not to harass. I apologize if I
And
apologize if I've come across that way. Really, I just wanted to, as somebody who has made similar mistakes and has had similar values, I wanted to
Haran is getting coned.
making a mention of the important things in life and offer a bit of insight.
I do also agree with that sentiment that perhaps you must discuss with Izzy on how you, well, I know you want to protect your daughter, but what good would it be to just keep her locked away here forever? She has to experience things on her own.
He sighs and just, he just holds up a hand. I understand this. Now, I understand.
Vena steps forward, puts a hand on Lord Faustin's shoulder and then on Izzy's shoulder. I can't speak for your wife, but I hope that you can see that she may have wanted a little more for her daughter.
Make me a persuasion check to see how that goes off.
At advantage because I did the bad cop, so he got good cop.
Quiet you. You're not out of hot water yet.
Sure. You know what? Sure.
Okay.
Listen, if I really wanted to be a bitch vampire, I would argue for me to do the persuasion. But we're good.
I need it.
I will wake up eventually.
Anyway, do it anyway.
Maybe in
Yeah.
2 weeks even.
There we go.
Main character.
Yeah, I asked for that because
Yep.
if you had rolled poorly, that would have gone over really
Yes.
badly, invoking his wife.
I was taking the gamble, damn it.
Yeah,
Leave it to the main character to outroll the charisma caster. I kneel before you, Shane.
Praise him.
I mean, you're
I'm
both
a
charisma
charisma
caster.
Like I said,
Okay.
completely forgot you were paladin for a minute. Forgive me.
He nods. He's just like, yes, she definitely would have wanted more for Izzy.
I think she would have wanted more for you as well, Lord Faustin.
He nods. She's yes, she probably wouldn't want me caught fucking words. Cooped up in here all my life, all the rest of my life.
No.
You're a good man, Lord Faustin. Please don't squander your life away. And I'm glad that you're alright and Izzy's alright in the end. I apologize for Barnaby and Agatha. Izzy, do you know where Agatha... Well, do you know where the remains of Agatha are?
And she nods.
Do you think you can show me so I can maybe carry them outside?
Yeah, and yeah, she will lead you out out a ways.
Inanna
But-
will go too.
Yeah.
We'll turn to Lord Falson if that's all right. If you had some sort of other place that you wish the dead to rest.
Well, Agatha didn't really have much. I think she was the last of her family, so when he just kind of looks at Izzy and Izzy's like, I think I thought of her as as family, and I think she did for me too. So we have a family graveyard not too far from here. It's still on the property. If you would as well help me with Barnaby.
Yes, of course.
Were either of them religious?
No, they were not.
All right.
And
Then I will spend them by saying the rites of a different god. That's good.
yeah, and Izzy will lead guys to do that. And while you're walking, she just looks over at Vina while she's helping. So, what are you going to do with me? Are you going to, bring me to the guards? Are you gonna?
No. There's ample reason to believe that you didn't have much choice. You were manipulated by a potent spellcaster, given a dangerous item, inherited into a contract with the devil. You didn't, with illusory script and with this figure modifying your memory, I doubt even if you had a choice, he would have taken it from you.
She just nods, and Agatha is by the pond, hidden in some shrubbery. Her body is anyway.
Reyna will collect Agatha. I imagine Inanna has Barnaby's drowned remains.
Yeah. She's just kind of digging,
Yep, and that will
setting up.
yeah. That will take a while, and if it is anyone else wants to do anything, you guys can wait the 12 hours until Huron wakes up.
Well, he rolled a 12?
Well,
I'd like to
She's
live.
on a D4?
Respectfully, I'd like to be alive before
On a
bedtime.
D4, what are you talking about D4 for? What the hell?
Wake
you're-
up from unconsciousness?
PhD.
Yeah.
Forced
D4.
unconsciousness is a D4.
And then you gain 1 hit point at the end of that.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you rolled.
That's how many hours you're unconscious.
I put my rules in the other thing, so don't worry.
There we go.
We'll
Sucks to be
Inanna is
Pyro.
with the
Get
bodies, and she
Respectfully, I have many books. I've been vibing this entire session.
Oh,
If you-
creatures, including humanoids and players, are knocked unconscious, need 12 hours of rest for a full rest.
there
Yep.
we go.
Bonk.
for a full rest, yes, but
So
getting
you're in the-
conscious.
I want to come up
Nighty
with
night.
Uh huh.
Yeah, well, write out the other rule and send it to me later. We'll see about that.
Yeah, it's in the PHB on falling unconscious is the D4 section.
I never heard
We're
about
saying
that.
the same thing. The D4 is to gain 1 hit point. It's 12 hours if he wants to come back at full.
Yeah.
Valid. So Inanna will just over the bodies. She says some rites over Barnaby, and just kind of just little blessings, very much nature of like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You will return to the earth and become part of the cycle again, and be at peace. And then she leans down to Agatha. was a bit late for Barnaby, but I can certainly do this for you. And I hope it'll start my retribution. And she casts funeral rite ceremony as a ritual. I don't have to use a spell slot. It's a ritual.
Woo!
Okay, what is that? Oh, it's just okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Holy weeder.
Consumed. Or powdered silver, rather. Do you have powdered
It's
silver?
fine. And if you do that on Barnaby as well?
I can't. He's already been undead.
Well, just like flavor-wise, do you do a funeral rite for Barnaby?
She does. She doesn't try the magic because she doesn't want what essentially for her would kind of be a confirmation that his soul was lost. She doesn't. She wants to have the she basically wants to have plausible deniability, being like, nah, his soul passed on. His soul passed on when he died before he was made an undead. But she doesn't want to see it fail.
Okay.
So she just says she prays, but she doesn't cast ceremony on him.
Okay.
Vena put her damn clothes on before going outside.
Boo!
Just had that really important.
Bedouin lives matter.
Silence win. Bleed in the corner for 12 more hours.
Oh!
Just Fadewind. Would you like that, my lady? Shing.
No, I said it to Huron. Not Fadewind, please.
They would just takes out an IV needle. I'll make it real slow.
Faden, don't do that ever, even if I ask you.
My life for the High Lady. Shit.
Inflicted. You're giving him a logic argument. He's gonna short circuit.
Well,
Must always obey Lady Vena, but Lady Vena said obey Lady Vena. Error.
Vena's gonna stay out there even if, or when Inanna and Izzy walk away.
8 minutes till I gotta go.
Okay, yeah, 8 minutes. Okay, so yeah, I was actually expecting this to go shorter, but yeah. So yeah, here also Huron wakes up at this point.
Oh.
You guys can all make a long rest as you guys wake up.
Another one?
Yay.
Do I get another one, or did?
I mean, you didn't even do any. You already long rested. What the hell are you talking about? You didn't even do anything.
Got it.
Ah, my spells.
I'd like to re-up
my
my
health.
info
Oh my god!
slots on the
Ah!
book
I
before we leave.
disappeared for a second.
Why do you still have that?
I'm attempting
Because it's a cantrip.
No. Here on, sorry.
It's in the regular
that was
conditions. Leave it alone. There we go.
So
Yeah,
let me
I
know
did.
when Huron wakes up, because he said he wanted to do a thing.
Yeah, here I woke up at this point.
He has only been silent all session. Let's give him a moment.
Huron, you've woken up. Everyone's at the table,
Huron,
including Ren.
Huron's eyes wake up. They are bloodshot.
Andy.
Good morning.
He realizes that the blanket is stuck to his wounds.
Oh, here we go.
The ring finger hand is starting to slide towards Inanna.
He hasn't even looked at you yet. I stand up and there's a pillow attached to the back of my head. Impaled by my antlers. I tear it off. Feathers flutter everywhere. I tear off the blanket, probably doing some bad things to the wounds. There's probably peach fuzz and whatever stuck there.
Very.
And then my eyes land on Ren.
Hands almost to Inanna.
I
Get there.
look to the rest of the room.
Huron? Are you alright, Huron?
No.
Oh, don't worry. I've already told Rin to duck.
You seem very cavalier.
Talking to me?
Yeah,
I suppose
duck.
You already talked to him.
We did. Aye.
Then there's nothing I need to say to the child. I'm gonna go find some water.
That's it.
Yep. He doesn't even spare you a second glance.
Rin literally says, "That's it."
He doesn't respond.
Vayne's gonna step next to Rin as Huron walks out the door. Rin, I
Clack.
don't think I need to tell you how unfathomably angry he is.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go sit in one of the big comfy chairs and look up at my ancestor.
He has less of a right to be upset than you all do. He did some other offensive things to me personally that I choose not to bring up at the moment. But
I almost
What,
died
that he
for you.
threw you in the lake?
I never did that.
he never did that.
He threatened to.
It's not important. I don't want to make this about me.
Are
Let me
you
just-
sure?
I was gonna say, let me open deception.
I don't want it to be about anyone. Rin, I don't want it to be about anyone. There's loss of life. It's about Agatha, regardless of what everyone else feels. I wish it didn't have to be.
But we're here, and we're doing our best to move forward.
But she can't now.
It's
That's
true.
what I've been trying to string. You have to think about the safety of others when you make choices. Even if it causes you a little bit of hindrance, you have to think about it. It should mean more than just a problem in our way to keep someone safe.
I have already admitted I let my temper get the best of me. I don't see any benefit in beating this dead horse.
I
Moose.
will beat this dead horse, though. You
I'm
might
so
Dwarf. Dead
I'm
dwarf.
so
Dead
I'm
moose.
so glad that Lord Housen go. What did you just call her? Like,
Stop speaking in moose.
No, this is serious shit.
I will continue to beat this dead horse. I wouldn't let down your guard around him until he gets at least one good lick in on you. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just feel like this storm has not yet passed.
I don't
Just-
want
You're so
anyone to
close.
start fighting each other over
You were
this.
so close to a Devil May Cry reference, Liv. I was almost proud of you.
Never played Devil May Cry.
You should. It's fun.
so-
If
Anyway.
we have nothing else to bother the Lord with, I believe that we have found the problem and have dealt with it according to what is required of us. And if Lord Fausten and Izzy are secure and can plan for the future, I believe that we should
Oh.
at least take our leave.
oh yeah, I'm very much ready to get paid. I also can't wait. I need to check it back in with Slade.
Did you delete Huron?
Is nobody gonna ask Ren about the name he just said?
Slade?
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
imagine if that's your retainer, I would know who he is.
Yes, you would. If Nana not gonna question,
no. If
all
you
right.
want me to tell you, you'll tell me.
He just says it out loud,
Oh.
and Reina knows
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Reina,
Reina Venka. Yeah.
you fucker.
Bill, I can't.
Where's Paydoin?
I can't understand that. I can no longer see through Huron. What'd you do?
Well, you can't.
What did you do?
What are you on about?
Paydoin's
He
so
took
annoying.
your tongue.
What'd you do?
I can't actually see through Paydoin. I just saw him go in there.
Hang
I
on.
didn't do anything. I used your character to say move. That came from your character.
Okay, I have to click on the actual token. What the fuck?
You have
Weird.
to select your token.
Okay, but it takes away the languages when I just click on the other token. Weird.
What the hell? What
Yeah.
Paydoin helps Vanna get her armor on.
Yep.
Ba-da-dum-bum, ba-da-dum.
And then before we leave, does Lord Faustin or Izzy have anything they want to say to us?
They just thank you one more time, and they're just like, we'll, we'll, the guild will. He just sighs. Thank you. It descended in a lot more death, but than I'd hoped. But thank you for helping us and for not not doing anything to harm my daughter, even if you had the entire right to do so.
I didn't believe that she was guilty, and I did not want to until things would force me to believe it. And I'm just glad that you're both safe. I'm sorry about Barnaby and Agatha.
He nods.
She'll give Izzy a hug.
Yeah, Izzy will hug Vega back, obviously tearing up.
Please
People
be
make
careful,
mistakes.
Izzy.
Everybody has those days.
Don't give Pyro a reason to kill you. Don't you ever do it.
Last thing before I have to go. Last thing before I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have had Rin at some point during this 12 hours, since he didn't need to rest, try to clean the chair. Agatha was bitching about him to. It will
Oh.
not be a good clean job.
Give
Aw.
Laura
Give-
Manor
should I
attempts
just-
to help the maid, and like we shoot off.
give me a straight dex check.
Oh, good. Yeah, natural one. That tracks.
Yes!
Aw.
He breaks
You have
the
ins- you have
chair!
inspiration.
Breaks
Yes,
the
No.
chair!
Inspiration for Agatha, you
You know?
scum.
She. Yeah, no. Fuck it. It's
Yeah.
fitting of how
Yeah, you
he's never cleaned a goddamn chair in his life.
you go
Glad.
you go out to the chair that's still outside. You pick it and you try scrubbing, and you immediately rip one of the cushions halfway. You just
Good.
immediately rip half a cushion off.
Good.
Mm.
Just turn it over.
I'm sure
Just
that's
turn it over and leave
amendable.
it.
We'll just keep
Turn it
going.
over and leave it.
Yeah, literally. I'm just here. It can't be that hard to re-sew it in. Rip. All right.
God
Just-
damn it.
Pieces of this chair around. It would look like an animal. And he's like, I'm sure that putting it together is not that hard. Oh God, it's hard. Well, it's a damn shame an animal's got to it in the middle of the night.
Rock hard?
Claps hands.
Rock hard.
Bricked up even?
Okay, I guess that's where we're gonna end the session. Rin absolutely making it worse.
Agatha's ghost just going, the ball. Like there's a revenant coming after me to turn me into a chair.
Alright, stopping recording
Oh,
in
God, I
three,
just imagine your limbs
2,
breaking.
1.